Parasyte the Maxim is an anime that came out in 2014 and has gone on to become one of the best psychological thriller anime of all time. I first watched Parasyte back on Toonami my summer going into high school, and I didn't really remember a lot about Parasyte the Maxim besides the grim world that Parasyte created through the existential themes, music, plot, character stories, and Studio Madhouse executing this vision for Parasyte perfectly. But speaking of the character stories, let's talk about the main character, Shinichi Izumi. Shinichi is really just your typical coochie-less, never mind, shy anime main character turned into an emo chad. And we love to see this, I can't even lie, we love to see this. Ken Kaneki, Sung Jin-woo in Solo Leveling, and we also see this in Shinichi Izumi. And Parasyte the Maxim is about how Shinichi goes through life once a parasite that tries to invade his brain gets stuck in his hand, and subsequently he has to learn to adjust with these changes, living with the parasite in his right hand named Migi. I love Migi, Migi's the GOAT, just know that, okay? But while Migi is good, there are other parasites running rampant in the world that Shinichi lives in, and he has to keep it a secret that he's half parasite, half human, while also fighting other parasites that threaten his way of life. But as the story progresses, the viewer really sees how Shinichi's humanity is put into question and how it changes as well along the ride. And we also see many of the internal existential battles that Shinichi goes through within himself, Migi, the other characters in the show, and the parasites that he has to face. And after many different deaths of those who are close to Shinichi, he changes emotionally, and then physically, and then emotionally again. And we're also thrown into this ride of Shinichi Izumi on his quest for humanity, as we see his inability to cry, and also his lack of him being able to show emotions after a while, and how these emotions make you human. And many characters in the show really question their existence as to why they are here on this earth. There was a quote in this show that went along the lines of, "All life on earth have received a directive except humans." And this quote really questions why humans exist in the world that we live in to this day. What is their purpose on earth? But at the same time, they were also very in your face about what they wanted you to think about and what they wanted you to understand. Like, Dora, I understand for the millionth time. Can you please shut the fuck up and stop asking me these questions, bro? Damn. And also the line between monster and human is blurred, as parasites gain humanity as the story goes on, and humans begin to lose their humanity as the plot progresses.
環境保護も全ては人間を目安とした歪なものばかりだ。人間一種の繁栄よりも生物全体を考える。そうしてこそ万物の霊長だ。人間に寄生し生物全体のバランスを保つ役割を担う我々から比べれば、人間どもこそ地球を蝕む寄生虫。いや、寄生虫か。
There's also themes of individualism within the certain parasites such as Migi, Tamiya, and other characters in the show, because all Migi cared about was Shinichi staying alive, so Migi would stay alive. And Tamiya, through her own different experiences, tries to learn and understand humanity the best way that she can. And going back to the theme of existentialism, some of the viewers, including myself, might even often side with Migi at times, who's the parasite, instead of Shinichi, who's the human. So they really just do a great job of making you question what makes somebody human, are what humans doing even right in the first place, and how can humans and parasites possibly coexist. And there's also subtle themes of environmentalism in the show as well, which I do appreciate. I really don't feel like a lot of anime talk about this as much as they should. One Piece has, and a few other anime have as well, but shout out to them for that. Parasyte the Maxim is also a very realistic story. The world that the characters are set in really do a good job of showing how people would act in modern times if they see these creatures that are parasites in the real world. Shinichi thought that Migi, when he first saw him, was a snake. And at the same time, Migi wanted to see Shinichi, well, you know.
Beat my meat! Shinichi. なんだよ、人のいるところでは喋るなって言っただろ。この生殖器。
And as funny as this further adds to the parallel of parasites and humans being more connected than people may think. The dialogue feels real, and also the other characters' reactions to the parasites in the show. Parasyte really has it all: action, drama, romance, creative themes that really make you think on an introspective level. Parasyte even had me thinking like, damn, if I bust down on this 8-count Chick-fil-A nugget meal with fries, Chick-fil-A sauce, and a cookies and cream shake with whipped cream and a cherry on top, am I just a skinny, fat, big bag, cherry chicken, cow milk, ice cream murderer? Big bitch. But the ending, bro, I'm not gonna lie, we need to talk about it. I do feel like it was pretty underwhelming with the whole, overpowered villain, plot armor type of thing that happened. I'm not gonna spoil it if y'all haven't seen it. But it was kind of underwhelming, but at the same time, everything was there. Everything was already explained, so I can't really be mad at it. And I, much like the rest of y'all that have seen episode 24 of Parasyte, almost crashed the fuck out. I was in my room. I got up, bro. I almost opened the window and almost said and did something crazy, okay? But I thought of it and I treated that final scene as a very important lesson. And this lesson is that humans are the true monsters of the story. And also how we create our own monsters by not having sympathy for one another in this world.
Monsters who will not show themselves and who cause trouble. Monsters who abduct children. Monsters who devour dreams. Monsters who suck blood. And monsters who always tell lies. They pose as humans even though they have no understanding of the human heart. They eat even though they've never experienced hunger. They study even though they have no interest in academics. They seek friendship even though they do not know how to love. If I were to encounter such a monster, I would likely be eaten by it. Because in truth, I am that monster.
I'm not a philosopher though. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not Edward L. Clark Ellison. I'm none of these people. If you want to go see some philosophy shit, go check out his channel. He makes good videos, okay? But Parasyte the Maxim was one of Toonami's anime masterpieces. And I'm glad that after rewatching it, it still holds up. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe to become a senpai or senpaiette, the best, most beautiful, inclusive community on YouTube. I'm gonna go. Take care of yourselves. Make sure to breathe in, breathe out, work hard, and have fun in the process of it. I love you. Goodbye and peace.
So now